Okay friends, in this video we are going to discuss electrostatics of conductor, the most important topic, and will make some important conclusions in this. And before going to that, let us recall what is a conductor. What is a conductor? Electric conductor, which allows the electric current to pass through it, are called as a conductor. This is the basic idea what we have on conductors, right? So these conductors are basically metals. This is the idea, metals. Metals are the conductor. Can you say one non-metal which is a conductor? Right, graphite is a non-metal which is a conductor, which can allow the current to pass through it. And here generally all the metals are conductors, right? When metals are conductors, then what are the charge carriers in these metals? What are the charge carriers? The charge carriers are electrons. Electrons are the charge carriers in metals, right? When you come to the other kind of conductors, generally liquids, right? Liquids, we call them as a electrolytic conductors, electrolytes we call, right? In electrolysis process we discuss the liquid through which current can pass, we call it as electrolyte. So electrolytic conductors. In electrolytic conductors, what are the charge carriers? Charge carriers are positive charges and negative charges. Positive charges and negative charges, cations and anions, both are the charge carriers. Right, in electrolysis process we have seen CaCO3 when you have taken as an electrolyte, Ca plus moves to one side and CO3 2 minus moves to other side. So in this way what happened, cations and anions, there is a movement in the positive charges as well as the negative charges. Whereas when you are taking the metals, only electrons are the charge carriers. Why? Because the protons are fixed in the nucleus here. So that's the reason protons are not the charge carriers in case of the metals. Now in our entire discussion, we will take metals whenever we are saying the word conductor. Whenever I am saying the conductor, you have to suppose that is a metal now. Okay. Now come to some conclusions here. We will make some conclusions. What are those conclusions? Number one, imagine this is a object or this is a conductor. This is a conductor. I'll draw little big. This is a conductor, right? No current is allowed to pass through it. We are not giving any current. So no current is passing through it. When there is no current is passing through it, then what is the electric field present in it? Electrons are there, no? Electrons are there. Then what about the electric field? When electrons are there, electric field should be there, no? When electrons are there, electric field should be there. But here electrons are there, and what about the electric field? How much electric field will be there inside a conductor? That is our first conclusion, right? What is electric field? Suppose the electrons are this way. This one electron, this one electron, this one electron, this one electron, and let me suppose this is one electron and this is one electron. So here one electron is there like this, here one electron is there like this, here one electron is there, here one electron is there. So like this there are different electrons are there. Okay, when you are giving current, what happened? They all started to drift in one direction. There is no current. When there is no current, what happened? The electric field of one electron will be cancelled out due to the another one. So its electric field cancel. This electric field cancel to each other. This electric field cancel to each other. Like that, what happened? All the electron drift and distribute themselves till the electric field become 0. Till the electric field becomes 0, these electrons drift themselves and distribute themselves till the electric field become 0. So what conclusion we can make? When there is no current is allowed to pass through the conductor, then inside the conductor electrostatic field is equal to 0. This is the first conclusion. Electrostatic field is 0 in a conductor, inside the conductor. First thing. Second one, direction of electric field. Second one, let me suppose this is a surface. What is the direction of the electric field? The direction of electric field is, here conclusion I am writing, direction of electric field is always normal to the surface. See, LC. So this is a surface where these are the charges on the surface. And direction of electric field is always normal to this one, 90 degrees. If you are taking here, it is normal to this 90 degrees. If you are taking here, it is normal to this. So at every point it is normal to the surface. Okay na? Sir, why it is only normal? Why not it is less than or greater than the 90 degrees? Why they are not tilted a little? Let us see what happens. Here I am taking a direction of electric field which is not normal. It is not normal, some theta angle is there. When there is an angle, it has its vertical component as well as a horizontal component. Yes, it has its horizontal component and vertical component. This is the electric field E, its horizontal component E cos theta I am saying, and this is the E sin theta I am saying. So you see the direction of this horizontal component. What this horizontal component direction? This is the direction. In this direction, what are there? There are some other charges. So then what happened? This charge will repel this one. Then this charge move to this side and repels to this one. Then this charge repels to this one. Then this charge repels to this one. Means what happened? The charge started to move. If it is happened, then what should happen? An electric current must be generated on the surface. Yes or no? Flow is nothing but current. It should be happened, but it is not happening. It never happens. Okay, so we can conclude that direction of electric field is always normal to the surface. Here one more problem is there. If these are not 90 degrees normal, they are of little tilted. Let me take here one more direction of electric field, it is tilted. Then what happened? These field lines will coincide at one particular point. There is a possibility to coincide, but what we learned in our previous knowledge, electric field lines will never coincide to each other. So this is one more reason why the field lines are, our direction of electric field is always normal to the surface. This is the second conclusion. First conclusion is what? Electric field inside the conductor is 0. Second one is direction of electric field is always normal to the surface. Second one. Third conclusion. Here I am taking the surface as I have assumed here. This is one surface I have taken. Okay, or one conductor I have taken, and on the surface of the conductor, here I suppose the electric potential as V1. On the surface of the conductor, electric potential as V1, and inside the conductor somewhere a point I have taken, somewhere, not in the center, it is somewhere. Its potential is V2. Its potential is V1, its potential is V2, right? What I am doing now, I am bringing a charge plus Q from V1 to V2. Bringing a charge from V1 to V2. Then what is the electric potential? What is the potential difference? V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. Electric potential formula: work done by charge. Right? Electric potential, work done by charge. Potential energy V2 minus V1. Work done by charge. Okay, you may get a little dim light. Power cut is there. V2 minus V1 is equals to W by Q. Work done by charge. What is the work done? Can you say? Guess what is the work done here? Electric field is 0. When electric field is 0, then work done will be 0. When electric field is 0, work done will be 0. Yes or no? Electric field is not there. Then what is the need of applying the force to bring this charge from V1 to V2? Need not apply the force. When force is not there, work done is 0. Yes or no? Gravitational force, but on the day we have discussed the gravitational forces are there on the earth, so that I have to apply some force in order to lift this object. Imagine gravitational forces are not there. Then what happens? I need not to apply any force. Then work done will be 0 by this object, though it is lifted to a height of 1 meter or 2 meter or 3 meter or 4 meters. Right? That is what work done is equals to 0. When work done is equals to 0, V2 minus V1 is equals to 0 by Q. That is V2 minus V1 is equals to 0. That is V2 is equals to V1. What is the conclusion now? V2 is equals to V1. V2 is equals to V1. If I suppose here V3 is equals to V1, V1 is equals to V2. Here if I suppose V4, here I suppose V5, here I suppose V6, like this I suppose the different points. What is the conclusion now? Electric potential at any point in its entire volume is constant. Electric potential at any point, electric potential at any point in its entire volume, right, is constant. You have taken a conductor. Imagine this is a conductor. If the electric potential here is V1 or V, then at any point, you may take any point inside or outside here anywhere, that will be 0. Electric potential will, not 0, that is constant. Right? So that is what the third conclusion here. What conclusion you can make? Electric potential is constant at every point in the entire volume of the conductor. Entire volume of the conductor. Please, I am writing, you are not written neatly now. Electric potential is constant at every point in the entire volume of the conductor. This is the third conclusion. Now come to the fourth conclusion. The fourth conclusion is electric field at the surface of the conductor, at the surface of the conductor, E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught n cap. Sigma by epsilon naught n cap. Electric field E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught n cap. What is sigma here? This is anyhow in proportionality constant will end 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is sigma here? Sigma is the surface charge density. What is n? N is the area vector. N is the area vector. Here this is one thing unknown to us, that is n is known as the area vector here. Let me give the explanation to this. Electric field at the surface of the conductor. Electric field at the surface of the conductor. This is the conductor, I suppose. Okay, now I want to find the electric field at the surface. Anyhow, inside the conductor electric field is 0. Inside is 0. It is known to us. Inside is 0. Then what is at the surface? So to find the at the surface, I will take the support of Gauss law. So what is the support of Gauss law taking means what? Here I will take a Gaussian surface. So for that what I will do, I will take a point, a small surface just above the surface. Just above the surface I will take a portion, an imaginary area I will take. Just above, for our clear vision I am taking this height, but not to this height. It is only very close to the surface. Why it is very close to the surface? Because here what is the electric field? The same electric field will be there when it is very close to it. So that's the reason very closer to the surface I have taken this surface. Okay, now and inward direction also I am taking this one. I want a closed surface now. Gaussian surface is a closed surface. So I have taken a closed surface. In our textbook it is called as a pill. Okay, this is called as a pill. So I have taken a closed surface. Now what is the direction of electric field? This is the direction of the electric field, perpendicular to the surface, as we have discussed in the second point. Okay, now and this is the direction of the area vector in upward direction. Direction of electric field. Direction of electric field also in this direction. So electric field direction also the same thing. Area vector direction, electric field direction, both are in the same direction now. Now I have to calculate the electric field. So in our once if you recall electric field in a linear conductor, electric field in a shell, electric field inside the shell. These cases we learned when we learned applications of the Gauss law. Same thing we will do here. What is the electric flux there? What is the electric flux? Electric flux pi is equals to E into delta S. Delta S is the small area what I have taken here, delta S. So two surfaces are there, 2 into E, 2 E delta S we have taken now. But already I said that inside there is no electric field. Inside there is no electric field. When there is no electric field, there is no question of the electric flux inside. So where is the electric flux? Electric flux is only in outward direction. In outward direction. So I am taking pi is equals to E into delta S. And the second one, from Gauss law. From Gauss law. From Gauss law. What is the Gauss law? As pi is equals to 1 by epsilon naught times of Q. What is Q here? Q is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. This is the total charge. So this is the Gaussian surface, and whatever the total charge enclosed in this, that is Q here. And here already we know that surface charge density sigma can be written as the total amount of charge enclosed by a surface delta S. Sigma is equals to Q by delta S. So from here what can you write? Q can be written as a sigma into delta S we can write, right? The same thing here I will write Q is equals to sigma into delta S by epsilon naught pi. pi is equal sigma into delta S epsilon naught. So this is, let us suppose, second one. So first one and second one, LHS is equal, then RHS also equal. So from these two I'll write the E times of delta S is equals to sigma into delta S by epsilon naught. Delta S cancel. What is electric field now? Electric field is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. This is what here. Electric field at the surface of a conductor E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. Vectorically we will write n cap. What is n cap? Area vector. What is the direction of the area vector? Area vector direction is always normal to the surface in upward direction, outward direction, right? Not upward, outward direction. Okay, so E is equals to sigma by epsilon naught. What is this? Electric field at the surface of the conductor. With these four conclusions we made. Now come to the fifth conclusion. The fifth conclusion is electrostatic shielding. Electrostatic shielding. What is this electrostatic shielding? Shielding word always we get where we use the word protecting something. Something we are protecting here. What is electrostatic protecting means what here? So let us suppose I have an electronic gadget. This is an electronic gadget. If it is placed in the external electric field, then it will be damaged. This electronic gadget will be damaged if I place it in the electric field. So then what I have to do? I have to place in such a place that it should not be affected by the electric field. It should not be affected by the electric field. If I take a cotton box, if I take a cotton, or if I take a wooden box, is it possible? Electric field can pass through it. If I take a cotton, then electric field can pass through it. If I take a metal box, electric field can pass through it. So then how can I protect that gadget without getting affected by the electric field? So here we have the term cavity. Cavity. What we have to take? A metal box. A metal box. In this we have to create a cavity. Cavity is nothing but an empty space. Empty space. An empty space. If you take a metal box, it has an empty space, then inside this empty space electric field is 0. Inside this electric field, inside this cavity, electric field is 0. Electric field inside the cavity, inside the cavity is equals to 0. So I know it is 0. No, so inside a conductor electric field is 0, you said, right? Inside a conductor electric field is 0 till the current is allowed to pass through it is 0. Current allowed to pass through it is 0. Now imagine this conductor with a cavity is placed in the external electric field. Is placed in the external electric field. This is the electric field. In electric field I place this one. Then what happened? These field lines will pass through it now. So when these field lines are passing through it, then even though the electric field inside this cavity is 0, this is a cavity, inside of this one is 0. Why it is so? Why it is means here direction of electric field when you are taking, this is the positive side, this is the negative side. Positive to negative field lines are traveling. Due to induction, when it is here positive, here what happened? Negative charges are developed. And here what happened? Here negative. So here in the conductor positive charges are developed, right? Then electric field which is given by us is in the downward direction. Is in the downward direction. Now what happened here? Negative charge and positive charge is developed. Then a field is developed from positive to negative. A field is developed from positive to negative. right? So an electric field is induced. Electric field induced is in a upward direction. The electric field given, electric field induced will be get cancelled, and electric field inside the cavity will become 0. So whenever we want to protect a gadget or electronic equipment from electric field, external electric field, then we will keep that electronic gadget in this cavity. When you place in this cavity, then it will not be get affected by any electric field, right? That is why we called as the electrostatic shielding. What we learnt here? Here we learnt that electric field inside the cavity of a conductor is 0 when it is placed in the electric field, right? These are the 5 important conclusions what we can make here. The first one is electric field inside a conductor is 0. Second one is direction of electric field. Third one is electric potential at different points in the entire volume. Fourth one is electric field at the surface. Fifth one is electrostatic shielding. Thank you very much. Thank you.